drive to eliminate corruption in Iraq is proving to be a long and uphill battle, one which Iraq's premier believes is worth fighting for. It was announced last week that the country's investigative court will be looking into 66 counts of outright corruption against cabinet ministers, senior military officers and state officials. Court Judge Mohsen Fadil confirmed that certain suspects had been referred to Iraq's criminal court, whereas others were awaiting investigation. Fadil also expressed scepticism over the immunity provision that protects suspects, which only Parliament can lift. In an unexpected turn of events on Monday, the names of hundreds of statesmen were leaked on social media sites, including Facebook and Twitter. The leak comes as a significant development in Abadi's efforts to purge the state of corrupt elements, one which has equally stirred tremendous controversy. While it is assumed that the papers seen here were published without the government's approval, local analysts have described the unauthorized publication as tactical deception, enabling those accused to flee the country. Supporting such predictions are images such as this that shows Member of Parliament Hamid Modlug and his family in the arrivals lounge at Queen Alia Airport in Amman, Jordan. This has forced into question the Prime Minister's real ability to enforce travel bans and ensure that officials implicated in corruption comply with these measures. Controversy is yet to be settled, and lucrative perks that ministers enjoy, including travels, are yet to be withdrawn, despite Abadi's promises to abolish Iraq's infamous system of patronage. The people of Iraq have spoken, protested and demanded change, yet the absence of recognisable results is adding more fuel to the fire of national discontent. Street protesters could be heard here fearlessly criticising Iraq's religious leadership, whom they accuse of taking the country from crisis to crisis while failing to deliver substantial change in the space of 13 years. There appears to be a growing resurgence of anti-religious sentiment as a result of sectarian engineering by the state and the highest ruling religious figures known in Iraq. But the message protesters have delivered has been made loud and clear, and that's that religion cannot provide either recovery or prosperity. Political participation has been highest among the country's youth, who have bore the brunt of unending wars in a country that offers close to no opportunities to them. Young protesters in the Iraqi city of Al-Faw, who occupied the local council last week, are seen here carrying Mayor Walid al-Sharifi and placing him in the trash, in an incident that encapsulates the anger and frustration of the masses. The protester here commented that the nation has no specific demands other than to see change, and an end to Iraq's chessboard politics, where pieces are arranged in the same way over time. Police intervention and the use of violence against unarmed citizens has also failed to silence protesters and stand in the way of growing public dissent. An FRB source told of local journalists from the area receiving death threats for their coverage, who also received explicit instructions not to cover these events. Basra demonstrations at the end of last week grew particularly fierce after a demonstrator was shot dead by security forces. Despite these efforts, unending protests are set to continue, and as anger reaches greater heights, more and more people are expected to pour onto the streets until the state shows its people that it can really be trusted. While thousands flock to the streets of Baghdad, former Prime Minister Nouri al-Maliki, presently accused of handing out jobs on patronage and not skill, is nowhere to be seen. In a move of defiance, the former leader has bounced back against a report that finds him responsible for the seizure of Mosul last year by the Islamic State group and other insurgents. Maliki, who is said to still be in Iran, took to his official Facebook to slam speculations with more allegations that have been described as far-fetched. By rejecting the blame for Mosul's collapse, Maliki has placed the responsibility on the shoulders of Turkish and Kurdish officials. In a post published by him yesterday, he announced that what happened in Mosul was a conspiracy planned in Ankara and later moved to Erbil. Spokesman for Turkey's foreign ministry blasted the hysteria of accusations Maliki has brought against Turkey and accused the Iraqi politician of guilt and delirium. Turkey cited the famous incident in which 70,000 Iraqi soldiers fled their posts when confronted by ISIS, which took place under Maliki's command. Maliki, however, made no comments regarding the militias he had deployed to fight these elements. Turkey has defended its role in fighting the group, emphasizing that it is working alongside the international coalition while consistently providing political, military and humanitarian support for Iraq. Maliki, in the meantime, is said to be safely in Iran, participating in press conferences on how to defeat ISIS and exchanging smiles with Iranian officials. Back home, however, he still faces innumerable counts of political negligence and corruption, which he confidently continues to deny.